Hey everybody, I'm Christy. Welcome back to the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen here in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee. Now, I may live in East Tennessee and I may know how to cook Southern, but my background has given me the opportunity to learn how to cook other things too. And I'm going to take you back to my life in New York and make something that someone special used to make for me. So, we're going to make green bean bundles wrapped in bacon, a Southern squash dressing or stuffing, depending on where you're from, and a New York style Italian chicken cutlet, the way that they do it in the delis up in New York City. So I hope that you'll come along with me and learn how it's done as I cook this full meal for you, and I'm even throwing in a bonus dessert. So let's get started.
Oh, it's a simple living in the hills of Tennessee. But Brooks and Christy say that's the life for me.
I'm quickly going to go over what we need for our squash dressing or stuffing, depending on where you live. But since we're in the South, we will call it a dressing. I'm using 4 summer squash. They are probably medium, small to medium size. We need about 5 cups total. If it's a little bit more than that, that's okay. I've got 2 ribs of celery, 1 onion, a whole stick of butter, 2 eggs. We're going to use a tablespoon of poultry seasoning. We have 1 can of cream of chicken soup. I'm using an organic variety. We've got a 1.5 cups of chicken broth. And I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of a Cajun seasoning. If you don't like a spice, you could certainly just use your favorite all-purpose seasoning. And I made up a pan of cornbread, which is about 4 to 5 cups of cornbread. You could certainly use like a box mix if you want, or just make up a pan of cornbread and use it for that. You could also use the pre-brought bread cube stuffing, but you would omit the poultry seasoning if you do that. So first thing we got to do is cut up our veggies, of course. So all of these veggies are going to be sauteed in a pan. So I'm going to go ahead and chop them up and put them in the same bowl to cook. So I'm just cutting the ends off our squash. Chickens will get to have all these good scraps. And we're bringing our chickens home, the new ones home, on Thursday. So actually, by the time this video goes out, most likely, we will have new chickens, or I may go ahead and film that and include that in this video. So today, as I mentioned in our intro, you are going to meet the diverse Christy in the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen. A summer squash casserole is inherently Southern. I didn't even know it existed until I moved here. So this is very much from my Southern roots since I have lived here in 2009. And those chicken cutlets are my mother-in-law Dottie's recipe, who was a New York Italian. And the way that they do chicken cutlets up there, which is basically like your chicken tender, but it's a flattened, more cutlet. It's the way the Italians up in New York do it. And I love it. And I've been wanting to have it for quite some time. So it's been a while. Glad to have it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this squash cut up, and then we'll get to the rest of the veggies. Then we're going to go over on the stove and saute these up in that whole stick of butter. So I think 3 squash is going to be enough, so I'm just going to actually save this one aside for something else. But that is about 4 to 5 cups of the sliced up summer squash. I'm going to go ahead and slice up my celery and onion, and then we're going to head over to the stove.
And it's Jesus, that's calling today. Come home, my child, and give me your best. I've got a place for you of refuge and rest. I know heaven is the place for me, where I can live with him in eternity.
All right, I've got my Mama's big pan here that I just absolutely love. It's a big 5-quart saute pan that holds a lot, and so I'm going to use her pan today, and I'm going to go in with a stick of butter and let that start to melt, and then we're going to go in with our veggies. That butter is sizzling, so I'm going to go ahead in that pan with our veggies. Everybody fits. Go ahead and stir it around so that butter coats everything. I've got my heat on about a medium. You know what this smells like, y'all. It smells like Thanksgiving. With the butter and the celery and the onions from when I make dressing or stuffing. I make both. I make dressing and stuffing. But this reminds me of Thanksgiving. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this and let these veggies cook down. Alrighty, it's been about 5 minutes, and they are definitely cooking down here. We don't need to cook them completely. We want to make them so they're almost done. Onions are nearing translucent, and the squash is starting to soften because it will cook in the oven some. I'm going to go ahead and add in our seasonings. I'm using Slap Yo Mama Cajun seasoning. It is pretty potent stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with 1 tablespoon, a little more than a tablespoon, and then a tablespoon of your poultry seasoning. Let that cook for a few more minutes and stir it in, of course, and then I'm going to taste it, and if I feel like it needs more of the Slap Your Mama, I'll go ahead and add that in, and I'll let you know how much it is. So it's between 1 and 2 tablespoons, and like I said before, if you do not like spice, because Slap Your Mama, well, it's called Slap Your Mama for a reason. It has a little bit of a kick. And a little dab will do ya. So we may be fine with just the 1 tablespoon, but I'm gonna go ahead and let that continue cooking down. I'm gonna leave the lid off this time so that some of the liquid evaporates as it cooks, because we are going to use chicken broth in this dressing as well. As you can see, that is cooking down really, really nicely. I do have my vent fan on to help evaporate a little bit more of the liquids, because squash, of course, is a very watery vegetable. I did taste it, and 1 tablespoon of the poultry seasoning and 1 tablespoon of the Slap Your Mama is plenty. I think that it's flavored absolutely perfectly, and it won't need anything more, because remember, we're using chicken broth as well, so I think it's actually going to balance out really nicely. So we're just going to cook it down a few more minutes, and then we're going to head back over and put this together and put it in the oven. We are letting our squash and veggies cool off because we don't want to put them super hot in here because we're using raw eggs. I'm gonna go in a bowl with the 1 can of our cream of chicken soup, and I am using an organic variety, the Pacific Foods, because y'all, Campbell's has been a trusted brand all our lives, but now there's like 15 ingredients when there only needs to be about 5. So I'm gonna go with the 5 if I can. I've got 1.5 cups of chicken broth and 2 eggs. I'm just gonna mix that around until they're well acquainted. Alright, so I have about 6 cups of the cornbread that I made. We're gonna start with 4, and if we need to add the rest, we will. Dressing is one of those things that you kind of have to eyeball the consistency. And once we get this mixed in, it'll be fine to add in our veggies because our eggs will have tempered with the broth and the cornbread and the soup. Alright, I'm going to go grab our veggies and get those in there, and then we're going to put it in a pan and bake it. I will mention that some people don't like a heavy poultry seasoning flavor with the sage. If you don't like it at all, you can certainly leave it out. I would recommend using at least 1/2 of a tablespoon. This way you have a little bit of that flavor, but it's not going to be strong. But we enjoy that, so we put the whole tablespoon. Alright. Mix it up and see what it looks like here. Alright, so that's still pretty wet. We're going to go ahead in with our other 2 cups of our cornbread. And I think that'll make it just about right. So that's 6 cups. You never know how watery your vegetables are going to be. Yeah, I think that's perfect. I can already tell. Brooks is going to be excited for dinner tonight, I'm going to tell you what. He loves anything made with squash. Yeah, I think we're at just about, see how it's kind of, it's wet, but not soupy. It's kind of what you want. Alright, let's get our pan out. We are going to bake it in the deluxe air fryer and oven from Pampered Chef, which is my BFF, especially in these hot summer months. I don't need to oil this pan because it is extremely non-stick. This is a 12 by 12 pan. Traditionally a 9 by 13 is what you would use. Use my mixing scraper here to get everything out. Ooh, doesn't that look good, y'all? Okay, so we're gonna go in to a 350 degree oven for 30 to 35 minutes. I'll check it at 30 and see where we're at. But that's where we're gonna be, and I'll show you what it looks like when we get done. And then we're gonna go on to the chicken cutlets. We want some scraps. There you go, guys. They love chicken scraps. I mean kitchen scraps. They got some watermelon rinds, some squash, some green bean peelings. And there is the temporary setup for the new birds that are coming soon. Good stuff, ladies. Good stuff. Our beautiful southern squash casserole is done. It cooked in about 33 minutes. Obviously your time will vary, but oh my goodness, doesn't that look really good? I'm excited for dinner time or supper time. Supper or dinner, you tell me. So we're gonna do the whole deal today. We're gonna have dessert and everything. I'm gonna whip up a beautiful key lime cheese pie, and it's gonna come together in just a few minutes. I'm going to use this key lime pie mix from Pampered Chef. I've heard rave reviews about it, so I'm excited to try it, and it's very, very simple. All I need is a cup of heavy cream. Gonna go in the deluxe stand mixer here. And 4 ounces of cream cheese, which has been a bit softened. I probably had it out about an hour. So I've got in 1 cup of heavy cream, 4 ounces of cream cheese, and 1 package of the key lime mix. It's a dessert mix. You can make like a key lime dip with it. You can make this cheesecake. You can make like a mousse. It's very versatile. But today, we're going to go with the key lime cheesecake. And then I'm going to put down my mixer there. Slide our shield on. Okay, so this mixer is pretty cool. I want to whip. And I'm going to do 3 minutes and 30 seconds just like it recommends and see how it does. And it will stop automatically when it's done. And the only other thing we do is put it in a graham cracker pie crust and it's done. So I know I didn't show you what happened here, but it was really, really cool. It started at speed 2 and went all the way up to the high speed of 8 for the 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And let me tell you what, it whipped the heck out of this, this dessert. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to try it. I might have to try it now. Ooh. Mmm. It's limey. It is limey. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Okay, so I'm going to take off the attachment. And I'm just going to go ahead and scrape what's on that paddle into our pie pan. And I'm going to take our bowl off, our bowl locks, and I'm going to show you what it looks like there. It is beautifully whipped. 3 minutes, 30 seconds, guys. So this dessert is about 5 minutes, maybe less. So this is a 6-ounce pie shell, so it's the smaller one. Of course, you can make your own if you want, but we're going easy today. Using my classic scraper, guys. This is a Pampered Chef item that I cannot live without. All the scrapers. So, legit, this is it. Key lime cheese pie. Yum. One more, guys. Delicious. And there we have it. Next up, I'm going to get the bacon wrapped green bean bundles ready. Okay, so I'm going to make some bacon wrapped green bean bundles. These are green beans that I picked from our garden. Very excited. I finally planted enough plants that we can have a mess. And the first thing we're actually going to do in this little ramekin here is 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, quarter teaspoon of garlic powder, and half teaspoon of sea salt. So I'm just kind of incorporate those together. And once those are pretty well kind of there, this will add just a little bit of sweetness to these green beans. Okay, so I've got some avocado oil here, and I'm just going to drizzle maybe a tablespoon and a half of olive oil in there. And dump in our seasonings. I'm just going to use my hands to toss those around in that salt, garlic powder, oil, and brown sugar. Every little bean has a little bit. You don't want it to be a lot, you know, you don't want it to be like covered in sugar. We just kind of want it to crystallize a little bit on those green beans, which will be amazing with the bacon that you see there. All right, that's it. Now these are going to be in the air fryer, so it's a very, very simple recipe. So I've got my air fryer tray here. This is for, of course, the deluxe air fryer and oven from Pampered Chef. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 7 or 8 green beans and bundle them up. Take a half a piece of bacon. This is our favorite Benton's bacon, of course. And you're just going to wrap around the bottom to kind of make a bundle just like that. We've got a little bit of a handful there. This is a thick cut bacon. You can of course use a regular bacon if you like. I'm so excited about these. So excited. And we're going to finish those up and put them in the refrigerator for when it's time to cook them. Make sure it's wrapped around there just like that. And you can do these in a basket style fryer as well. Alrighty, it is time for the main event. The New York Italian style chicken cutlets. This is how my mother-in-law Dottie used to make chicken cutlets up in Queens, New York when my life was there many years ago. And I just absolutely love it. She would make 5, 6, 7 pounds at a time because they had such a big family and everybody ate 2 or 3. I have about 3 pounds of flat or thin chicken breasts, and that's what I'm going to use here. She used to go to the butcher and order her chicken cutlets cut thin. I just bought thin chicken cutlets. Alrighty, so this is 4C seasoned bread crumbs with the Pecorino Romano cheese. It's got Italian seasoning in it. This is what we bread our chicken with. Alrighty, you all have seen my pigtail turner here. Is it not only good for frying, but it is good for breading. Just dredge it in there and that egg and cream. She used egg and milk. You can use whatever you think you need. Let it drip off just a second there. Whoops. And dredge it in those breadcrumbs. And that's really all you gotta do until you have all of the chicken cutlets breaded. And then when that's done, we go over to the stove and we fry them in some olive oil. I said oil like a southerner, y'all. I am getting diverse with my language. Making a northeastern New York Italian style chicken cutlet, and I said oil. I used to like to tell people that I speak 3 English dialects: Midwestern, New Yorker, and Southern. So that's kind of funny. When you live somewhere for a period of time, and a decent period of time, you pick up the lingo. You can't help it. I'm excited. I haven't had chicken cutlets in a long time. We haven't made them in a while, but it's a treat. You could also pound your chicken thin if you want to do it yourself. You don't have to buy the thin. Or if you have a butcher, go to the butcher and ask him to cut them thin for you. All right, I will bring you back when it is time to fry these babies. All right, y'all, it is time to fry these Italian style New York chicken cutlets. There they are, all breaded. I did put them in the refrigerator for about a half an hour before frying because that helps the breading stick and stay. You don't have to do that, but it is a neat little tip. And I am waiting for our oil to hit 360 degrees using my little Pampered Chef thermometer there. And we are just about there. And I will show you what we do in just a second. Okay. So the pigtail turner returns, and that oil is nice and hot. And we're probably going to do about 3 at a time. This is shallow fat frying. We are not deep fat frying, although it's almost deep fat frying. So we're going to leave these on the first side for about 3 minutes, and then we will flip them. Okay, we've had about 3 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and flip. Oh, that looks perfect. Yum. Oh, and it smells so good. I am frying in olive oil, and that is kind of the thing, is that you do fry chicken cutlets in olive oil. I'm using a mix of light olive oil and extra virgin olive oil. Oh my goodness, those are beautiful. We are going to take out our first few, have it good there, and put them on a draining rack there. You want your temperature to be at 160. I'm going to do 2 big ones this time. Okay, I have my deluxe air fryer and oven on sync. In the top compartment, I have the squash casserole just warming at 130 degrees for 15 minutes because it's been a few hours since I made that. And now I'm going to put the green bean bundles in on the air fryer setting. All right, it's time to flip. All right, time for these to come out. And these are the last 3. All right, there are our chicken cutlets, all done, crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside. We're coming up with a taste test. Look at the gorgeous green bean bundles, guys. I did put them in the air fryer on 400 for 12 minutes, and they look perfect. Whew! Y'all, that is a big meal. That is a Sunday supper kind of meal, full-on family kind of meal, because there's a lot of steps, but I think it's going to be worth it. So we've got our chicken cutlets done that you just watched me make. We've got our southern squash dressing with the cornbread and the squash. And we've got our air-fried green bean bundles wrapped in Benton's bacon. You want to see me try it? Okay. First, I'm going to cut into the chicken and show you what it looks like on the inside. Oh, it's juicy. You cannot see me cutting it, but you can see that that is done perfectly delicious. All right, let me get a bite of the squash casserole since that is what we made first. Bring my plate up here so you can see it. The squash casserole is nice and moist on the inside. There we go. Cheers, whoop, I lost part of my bite. Cheers, everybody. That is so good. It's like a summer version of Thanksgiving. Literally, that is what that is like. The Slap Your Mama seasoning is definitely in there. You get a small kick. Not literally burning you, but you can feel the spice or taste the spice, and it's there. Really, really, really good. Okay, so I think I gotta put my plate. I'm just gonna try a green bean naked. How's that? Yeah. Oh my gosh. That smokiness of the bacon cooked in there, and you get that slight sweetness of the brown sugar, and you can see that the bacon cooked really, really well. I'm gonna be messy with it. Oh my gosh, those are so good. They really are yummy. Why have I not done that before? I don't know, but you gotta try it. All right, time for the chicken cutlet, and that is a blast from the past for me. I haven't made it in, I don't know, 5 or 6 years probably. But I'm just gonna use my fingers. They're so good. They're so simple. The chicken is done so well, and it stays crispy on the outside while you're eating it. It is really, really good. And y'all, I already tried the key lime pie filling for you, so I'm not going to try dessert on camera this time, but it's really good, and I think that Brooks is going to enjoy it as well because he is a big-time key lime pie man. It's time to go eat dinner, and I want you to stay tuned because there's going to be some bonus footage. Yep, bonus footage. I'm not going to put this video out until the new chicks come home, so you're going to get to see that. But in the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen, please do so. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out a great deal. Leave a comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, tell me what you want to see, because I am interested in your opinions as well. Would you make this meal? Is this something your family would eat? I want to know. you got to tell me all about it. But in the meantime, get you in the kitchen, cook you up something good, make you some New York Italian chicken cutlets, some Southern squash dressing, and some green bean bundles wrapped in bacon. In the meantime, I love you all. We are praying for all of those in Texas, and our hearts just break for all of you if you're watching from that area. In the meantime, stay tuned.